Hello and welcome to another and rather the final video for the chapter Water. I am Ryan, a volunteer from Vidhai and in the team of Exams Vidhai, where everything is possible. This chapter Water is especially for the exam NMMS and is from the extended textbook of Samachir syllabus. Like in all other videos, we'll be looking into what we are going to study in this video. We have learnt about the introduction, the composition of water in the first video, properties of water in the second video, potable water and its characteristics in the third video, and here in the final video we'll be learning about water pollution. So without further ado, let's get started. So in water pollution, you have water resources, like what are the resources, what are the sources of water, and then you have the common pollutants which are responsible for pollution and how to control the pollution of water. So first things first, we'll be looking into the water resources. But before we go into water resources, we need to learn what water pollution is, at least the gist of it. So the contamination I mean by pollution of water bodies as a result of human activities is known as water pollution. So we humans throwing our garbage into this drainage system or into the rivers causes water pollution like these. You may have come across this sight many times, more than once in your life at least. Contamination or pollution of water body, when we do it, right, chemical sewage and waste are released into the water, which affects the physical quality of water. And by physical quality, rather you can say physical property, and the first ever physical property that we have learned in the previous video, like in the second video, is it should be colorless, odorless and tasteless. But here you can see it's light brownish color and would also give odor. So this destroys the physical property of water. Freshwater resources are the sources of water for agriculture, domestic and industrial uses. So water is almost used everywhere, not only in our daily lives, but for the products that we use every day, even for the production of them. So freshwater can be categorized in this manner. So we have surface water, which is much more divided into rivers, reservoirs, lakes and tanks, and groundwater, which is just simply groundwater. So I'll explain, right. In Tamil Nadu especially, you have 17 rivers, one of them being Kaveri, and 61 reservoirs and about 42,000 tanks all across Tamil Nadu. Groundwater also is called as aquifers. Aquifers are the layers of ground, like made below the ground, of sand and gravel to collect rainwater. So you have, these are the aquifers that I'm talking about, these layers of ground. So what happens is, the streams or the rainwater coming down into the ground, it will seep through the ground and be collected inside these layered part of the ground, and then you have a pumping mechanism to pump out water from the ground, and these are called as groundwater. So here is the common pollutants of the water pollution. You can see this tabular column in the 8th standard textbook of Samachir under the chapter water. And to give a gist about it, you have household detergents, that whatever we are using, we have synthetic detergents, we have general domestic sewage and plastic and waste from there, agriculture wastes like fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, where these are pure chemicals used to fend off insects and weeds. You have industrial waste like lead, mercury, cadmium, chromium, arsenic. You can see these chemical names in here as well, like under this industrial part of this tabular column. You can see from where it is being released, like chemical, textile, industries, and you can see the effects as well here. Oil spills from the ships that is carrying oil, and then you have thermal pollution where water is used as radiators for cooling. Once you heat up water to a really high temperature, it will break down into its fundamental components, never to be turning back into water. We have learned this in probably the second video of the chapter water under the chemical properties. So, how do we control water pollution? So, you can use detergents that are biodegradable, those are biodegradable detergents, not synthetic detergents. You can wear clothes of cotton and not synthetic materials like nylon. Instead of throwing plastic inside water bodies, we should recycle plastic and dispose non-recyclable objects into a different part and maintain properly. So the rest of this extract is also given in the textbook. You can go across this, and this is just a generic way of saying to stop water pollution. It's a poster, and this is rather a sign to prevent people from dumping water chemicals into the water bodies. Now for the last question for this last video, a practice question. So, which of the following is a water pollutant? Lead, aluminum, oxygen, chlorine. Now the hint I would give you that is it is an industrial pollutant. So you can pause this video, find the answer and return back to this video. For those who want the answer, continue watching. And the correct answer to this is lead. Here we have known like lead, chromium, arsenic are the chemical pollutants from industries which lead to water pollution. So lead is one of them. So lead is the correct answer amongst these bunch of options. With that being said, this concludes the end of the part 4 of the chapter water. Check the description for extra questions and the lecture notes for this chapter. All the extract, the text that I have taken for the slides are from the textbook only, apart from the images which are from Google. Remember to go through the points to remember and glossary and all the questions at the end of the chapter inside the textbook. This concludes the chapter water. Thank you for attending.